and that's got a spectacular sight of 14 Spitfires flying together at Duxford, the SR-71, lots of onboard GoPro footage as well, and definitely worthwhile at just £20 for that, £25 for the Blu-ray. Now you can place your order or collect your free DVD today from the Planes TV store, which is in the red zone by the Typhoon Simulator, or you can just go to the normal official merchandise outlets or direct to planestv.com. Well, I make it just a minute to go and I see a really exciting aircraft just testing its smoke system, Ben.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, oh, the Breitling ones.
Right, we were just checking on the Royal Air Force tokens there. We understand some more may be available. We'll get an update on that as soon as possible, because we know that would be a very popular activity indeed. But as I say, right now, here we go. We're off and running. This is fast, exciting, furious, and in trademark style. Please welcome Richard special with his S2X model that Rich himself has done a great deal to bring us up to the fantastic specification that we see him putting on display today. He is an engineer by education. He did an engineering degree before joining the Royal Air Force, and it has helped him produce one of the most outstanding solar aerobatic aircraft on the circuit today. And this is a routine full of action, full of negative and positive G tumbles, full of shoulder rolls, over the shoulder rolls, he calls them. 10 minutes of absolute aviation aerobatic exhilaration. Well, you have to work hard at watching this particular aircraft and pilots, because it is very special indeed. Right at the top end of the performance curve with a massive 300 horsepower on the front end. Richard will defy gravity in so many different directions, not true. And here already in another of his trademark maneuvers, the inverted 360-degree turn. Much of what Richard does is all about energy management, and here's a good example now where he will virtually run out of airspeed, but just using the residual power and gyroscopic effects of the propeller, just puts in a big boot full of rudder there right at the end, and instead of a normal stall turn, he lets the aircraft tumble over the top of itself. And many of these maneuvers not for the faint-hearted. This takes a huge amount of training, and he'll get out of this aircraft utterly exhausted. 300 or so horsepower at Richard's disposal from the 6-cylinder, 8.5-litre Lyconian engine in his S2X. A bit special, an aircraft that appeared before World War II, but has been very, very highly developed, not least by Rich, who is an ex-RAF pilot himself. He flew the Tornado GR1 on strike missions during the First Gulf War. He left the service in 1993 and took up commercial airline flying, which he still does to this day. But display flying very much in his blood. His father, Ken Goodwin, was an outstanding RAF solar aerobatic jet pilot in his day, and Rich has continued those traditions, but in a very different mount. He started competition aerobatic flying, was very successful in that discipline, then moved on to display aerobatics, and has really established himself with this remarkable machine on which, as I said, he's done a lot of work himself to streamline the undercarriage, make the engine cowling more aerodynamic, and what's more, tune the engine.
And even on top of that, he's actually hovering right now, Ben, and allowing the aircraft to fall slowly back through its own smoke. Absolutely extraordinary. Can't actually fly backwards, but he's very, very close to it. Yeah, it's a really unpleasant manoeuvre, that sort of thing, allowing the aircraft to tumble. Basically, it's a series of flick and snap rolls and tumbles all thrown into one, a bit like putting yourself inside a washing machine and going straight to fast spin. Position yet again. Now, just a reminder, you're all weighing 1G at the moment, so as he pulls an aircraft, he'll be increasing the pressure down to the feet. As he pushes the aircraft, then he's going in the opposite direction. All the blood is going to your head. You do that 3, 4, 5 times your weight, then you'll have some idea of the pressures. But this is, a wonderful transitionary manoeuvre there from a slide into a quick roll and then coming back into it. Well, he doesn't really achieve normal flight very often, does he?
Into now a rolling circle manoeuvre. We'll see a couple of these in the display. There, coming back into crown centre, transitioning into another inverted flat turn, and he'll then pull into 3 shoulder rolls once again, one of the manoeuvres he uses at regular points in the display if he if he feels it's all just got a little bit quiet for a moment. There they go. In fact, just the one on this occasion.
A good opportunity perhaps to focus on the aircraft. Ben, you'll be aware just how dominant this aircraft was, particularly in the 60s and especially in the 70s throughout Britain. But I understand it never achieved fame in our own competitions itself.
Well, it won plenty of domestic aerobatic competitions on both sides of the Atlantic, but oddly perhaps the Pit Special never won the World Aerobatic Championships because the East Europeans, the Soviets and others, were so dominant at that stage with their own designs, and the Pit wasn't quite up to the mark when it came to very, very top level competition aerobatic flying. But then is now a very good entry level, very good display mount, one of the greatest aerobatic display aeroplanes. We've seen so many tremendous teams on the pits over the years, and great solo performers. Rich really adding to that tradition now. Referred to as his climbing neck rolls.
Yes, it's very much hard to imagine that this aircraft came out of Curtis Pitts' stable in the mid-40s and then made famous by extraordinary people such as Betty Skelton, who flew a little thing she called the Little Stinker, and here we are now still performing highly modified, of course, very strengthened wings as Ben was describing a little earlier on, and of course the pilot has done most of the work himself. He's a hugely passionate aviator, Richard Diddley, and he's just spent hours and hours and hours not just practicing but making all the modifications to the aircraft.
And if you think the performance of this pitch is incredible. He's currently building another one, in many ways much the same as this, with one small difference. It will have a pair of small jet engines on it to further improve its performance. He's still to get the final approvals on this from the UK authorities, but the aircraft is in build. The wings are different, and you've shown me some pictures of it recently, and it will be an absolutely mighty machine.
Well, that sounds impressive. As to see how we can go further with this. It's not just preparation, but of course fitness right across the air display spectrum is absolutely essential, and all the air display pilots work very hard, very similar to Formula One drivers, strengthening the muscles of course. No G protection is available on this class of aircraft, unlike the frontline Royal Air Force pilots who do it, so all the effort in restraint has got to be with the pilot himself.
One of his new backers for the 2017 season, and then into another outside turn and another series of snap rolls.
Well, that was exhausting almost watching it, and I know that he will be pretty tired after this as well, but I think I just hear him calling there now for the last pass, and what we'd like you to do throughout the course of the day is, during their last pass, is to give all the pilots a huge wave, just to welcome and thank them for all the hard work, and he'll be coming in is clearly now, and yeah, just giving you a topside view. He can see you, boys and girls, mums and dads. This is Richard Goodwin in a muscle biplane. Very special start to Sunday flying, I'd say, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff as usual from Rich. I believe he's going to be departing off slot to Fenland Aerodrome, and there quickly fuel because he's got to head over to Belgium for the Sanicol Air Show, which is Rich's first ever mainland European display towards the end of the afternoon. And he's showing a bit more of the pits and hovering abilities though before he does so. Well, not quite hovering, but certainly slow speed.
Yes, well I did say, oh look, it just, yeah, that's a sort of waving finale as well. Absolutely wonderful chap, and as I say, they do get bored very quickly with flying in a straight line. It's just not in their blood. Well, what a marvellous, marvellous start. Really, really.